Good morning everyone. This is Alekia Tapasvi. In our today's class, we are going to discuss about the definition of interference. Before that, what is principle of superposition? Next, the basic need of interference. What is the basic need of interference? It is nothing but coherent sources and the property of coherence. These points we will discuss in our today's session. Okay, we hope already you people know that light is an example for transverse waves. Why this is belongs to transverse waves? Because when light is propagating through medium, the medium particles will vibrate perpendicular to the direction of propagation of wave. Therefore, the light is completely belongs to transverse wave. Okay, next one more thing, light is undergoing into dual nature. Why light is having the property of dual nature? Because sometimes light will show wave property, sometimes it will show particle nature. Okay, when particle nature will be exhibited by light, when light is interacting with any other object at the time, the moment of interaction, at the moment of interaction, it will show the particle nature. When light is propagating in a medium with certain velocity v, at that time it will exhibit wave nature. Therefore, light is having dual nature, and these are the fundamentals of light. Now, in our today's session, we are going to discuss about interference. Actually, interference is going to take place in two different methods. One is division of wavefronts. Second one is division of amplitudes. We will look into division of amplitude in our next sessions. First, I am going to deal with division of wavefronts. How interference is going to take place in the division of wavefronts. Next, before going to that, first we need to understand what is the principle of superposition. Okay, after knowing that, we will go through this interference pattern. What is principle of superposition? Let us suppose if two or more waves propagating in a medium, at any time if they are overlapping, then that is called as principle of superposition. The principle of superposition going to take place in two different methods. First, try to understand these diagrams. Here I am showing you two different waves now. This is first wave, this is second wave. Let us suppose this horizontal line is representation of medium, and dots in horizontal line will represent different particles of medium. If one light wave is traveling through given medium, then particle vibrations will do like this. Particle vibrations will be like this. Particle vibrations are perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. Let us suppose here this particle displacement is y1. Okay, this is first wave. Now coming to the second wave. When second wave is transmitting in a medium, let us suppose I am considering such kind of wave diagram with the displacement of particle of medium is y2. This is second wave. Now coming to our first case, let us suppose I am considering these two waves are propagating through same medium at the same time. Then what will happen? As we discussed here, the displacement of individual particles are y1 and y2. Okay, next coming to the diagrammatic representation, it will be like this. Now try to understand this resultant displacement of the particle as well as resultant amplitude of the wave. Okay, now you see, if these two waves are simultaneously passing through same medium, then the resultant displacement will be like this. Y is equal to y1 plus y2, summation of individual displacements of the particle. The same particle is vibrating like this. The same particle is exhibiting y1 displacement here, here y2 displacement. The resultant displacement of the same particle, if two waves are simultaneously passing through given medium, it will be like this. Okay, when positive sign will carries between individual displacements, you see here, if you observe the wave pattern here, crest of one wave, first wave is falling on the crest of first wave only. Okay, trough of first wave is falling on the trough of second wave only. That means crust is falling on crust, troughs are falling on troughs. Therefore, if this pattern is going to take place, the phase difference between the waves is equal to 0. If phase difference between them is equal to 0, we can expect such kind of positive sign between the individual displacement. Therefore, resultant displacement of the particle is like this. Okay. Next, coming to the resultant amplitude. With respect to particle, we are talking about displacement, but with respect to the wave, the maximum displacement of waves will be called as amplitude. Okay, the first wave amplitude, first wave maximum displacement is equal to A1, second wave maximum displacement is equal to A2. Then such kind of wave superposition is going to take place in the given medium. Then resultant amplitude will be like this. Resultant amplitude is equal to A1 plus A2. Why to get the value of resultant amplitude? Okay, the reason is to know the value of intensity of light. How can I find out the intensity of light? Intensity of light is nothing but square of amplitude. After getting the value of after getting the value of amplitude only, we can find out the value of intensity. This intensity terms and amplitude terms are very important to understand the concepts as well as to solve the problems in optics. Next, coming to the second case. If you see the second case, these two are the two waves, they are propagating through same medium at same time. Okay, but here the displacement of the particle of the this medium is y1. The displacement of particle here in this medium is y2. Okay, but if you understand this diagram, you can observe that the phase difference between them, between these two waves, when they are propagating through a medium is phi. Okay, this is the phase difference. 180 degrees phase difference is there between them. When 180 degrees phase difference is there between them, at that time, how can I write resultant displacement of the wave? The resultant displacement of the particle, sorry, not the wave, of the particle is equal to, y is equal to y1 minus y2. Why we are using negative sign here? Because the phase difference is going to take place between them. Since the phase difference is equal to pi, the resultant displacement is carrying negative sign. Okay, this is with respect to particle. Now coming to the amplitude. If you see the amplitude, the maximum amplitude of the first wave is A1, the maximum amplitude of second wave is A2. Okay, since they are in out of phase, that means phase difference between them is equal to phi 180 degree. The resultant amplitude is also carries negative sign. Resultant amplitude is equal to A1 minus A2. These are two different cases when superposing of two or more waves are going to take place. Now, what is complete meaning of principle of superposition? The resultant amplitude or resultant displacement of the wave when two or more waves are propagating through same medium simultaneously is equal to algebraic sum of individual displacements or individual amplitudes of the wave. Okay, I hope you are getting my point. Okay, now we will see the supporting factors of interference. The basic need of interference is coherent sources and the method of coherence. Now we will see what is the meaning of coherent sources and coherence method. Try to understand this diagram. Here I have taken one main source Later, at a certain distance, I have placed one paper with two pinholes. S1 and S2 represents two pinholes. Later, at a certain distance, I have placed one screen with dots as well as dashes. That means I have separated screen into two different positions. One somewhere dots, somewhere dashes. Those are have been placed alternatingly like this. You see, let us suppose if this is the light source, it can give the wavefronts like this. Okay, if it is giving the wavefront like this, whenever this main wavefront, primary wavefront is reaching this paper, definitely this wavefront cannot continue its motion in this position. But since these two are two pinholes, these two will be acts as a horizon for wave. Okay, therefore this S1 pinhole as well as S2 pinhole, again they will start producing the wavefronts here as well as here, just like Young's double slit experiment. These S1 and S2 which are giving the secondary wavefronts, these are the secondary wavefronts here, which are giving the secondary wavefronts are called as secondary sources. These two secondary sources are originating from the same main source. Okay, if secondary wavefronts are originated here like this, sometimes crest of one wavefront will fall on the crest of another wavefront which was given by S2 secondary source. At that time, some bright fringes will be going to form on this AB screen. Let us suppose if crust of this secondary wave given by S1 is falling on the trough of secondary wave given by S2, at that time due to the phase change, here dark fringes will be going to take place on this screen. Okay, here we will see the conditions for dots as well as dashes. Why we have divided the screen into dots as well as dashes? Try to understand this concept, ma. Let us suppose if path difference between S1 and S2, that means if secondary waves are propagating through medium, when they are coming from S1 and S2 sources are like this, if they are following this much path difference, if they are maintaining n lambda path difference, that means path difference between them is equal to integral multiples of lambda. Here n is integer, it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Those positions are represented by dots. Okay. Next, coming to the dashes position, which one we are calling has dashes. Let us suppose if path difference between secondary sources given by S1 and S2 is half integral multiples of lambda, wavelength of light, then those places will be represented by dashes. Okay, this is path difference condition. Now coming to the phase difference. Let us suppose in the first case the waves, secondary waves, they are coming from S1 and S2 source are like this. That means if phase difference between them, phase difference generally indicated with phi and path difference indicated with delta. If phase difference between them is equal to 0, at that time crust of wavefronts will fall on crest of another wavefront, troughs of one wavefront will fall on trough of another wavefront. At that time, the dots will carry bright fringes as well as dashes will carry dark fringes. Okay, at that time we can expect stationary interference is going to take place and stationary interference pattern will appear on this AB screen. Now second case, in this second case, if the wavefronts are following phase difference is equal to phi, that too that is constant. At that time dots will carry dark positions and dashes will carry bright fringes. Okay, next third case. In the third case, I am showing you that the phase difference between these two wavefronts, secondary wavefronts is equal to pi by 2, but it is constant. What is the meaning of constant phase difference? If you observe these two waves at 0 seconds, they are having phase difference. They are separated through a phase difference pi by 2 only. If you are observing these same waves after 1 minute, then also the phase difference between them is equal to pi by 2. That means the phase difference is constant along with the time. At that time also we can expect stationary interference, and dots will carry dark position, dark fringes, and dashes will carry bright fringes. Okay, these three are the three different cases in that we can look into stationary interference. But if phase difference between the secondary wavefronts given by the secondary sources is not constant with time, if they are varying along with the time, then at that time there is no point of interference. We can't expect the interference. Okay, now these two sources will be acts as a coherent sources. Coherent sources completely will give support to the stationary interference. Okay, now my question is, why to take two secondary sources from the main source? Why we should not take two main sources? Because for interference, one more basic requirement is the waves which are coming from the sources should have same frequency and same wavelength. In nature, no two sources will have, no two main sources will have same frequency and same wavelength. Therefore, we can't get the interference pattern. That's why we are creating two secondary sources from the main source. Since they have generated from the main source, both will maintain same frequency, both the waves will maintain same frequency, same wavelength. This is called as coherent sources, and the complete method is called as coherence. Thank you so much.